All right, so we will go ahead and get started. So I don't want to keep y'all too long tonight. I want to make sure I get to a point where you guys can ask questions also. So I want to try to get through this as quickly as possible. Write down any questions that you might have, no matter if you think it's silly or anything, just feel free to ask write any questions down just so that I can make sure that I'm getting all of your questions answered because this is a different industry and I want to make sure you understand like what you're getting into. Okay. So let me go ahead and get started. So I'll go to the next screen. So before we get started, so my husband and I run this business together. My hair was really dark in that picture. It's very blonde right now. But we run this business together from our home. He's cooking dinner right now for our kids, so that's where he's at. But we have been in the insurance space for a very long time. My husband worked at USAA for about 25 years before he retired. I had been there 15 years until I decided it was time for me to do something else for myself, work for myself, and not, wait that full year for that 2% raise. So that is what happened with us and how we got into this space. So life insurance, I never expected to do life insurance ever, ever, ever. I lost both of my siblings, and one of them passed away in 2010. He was only 21 years old. And then 4 years later, I lost my sister, who was 31 years old. And they were both so young. Neither of them had life insurance. So my parents have had to fork out all the money for not only their funerals, but just also my sister had kids. And so she had to raise my nieces for the last 10 years. So growing from age 7 and 11 to now 18 and 22, my parents have had to do that all by themselves without any help because her ex-husband was in prison and the kids had no other parents. So that is what happened. And it just made sense for me to do life insurance. It felt like it was something meaningful, something that I knew that it's an important need that not a lot of people talk about, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. So that is what kind of drew me towards this, and it just kind of happened. I had been praying and praying, like, what do I do next? I'm not sure what I want to do. And a friend of mine had posted about the life insurance opportunity to work from home, the hours that you wanted, and I was like, I want that. Whatever that is, that's what I want. So that's how we got into this space a little over 2 years ago, and I could not be happier. It is an amazing opportunity, and especially for somebody who is like me, like we have 5 kids at home. They're all teenagers all over the place doing all the different things, and I wanted to be around for them so that they weren't just having a bunch of friends over at our house while we were at work. So that was another reason. So that's who we are. And now that QR code is just a link to connect to me. It's a Google form that just says who you are. If you're interested in working life insurance, then how we can connect to each other, and I will connect with you and we can text and talk on the phone tomorrow or whatever after this. So, why remote life insurance? I kind of already explained a little bit of why I decided to do this industry and why I decided to do remote versus working for a company. I wanted flexibility. I wanted the freedom to work from anywhere with our kids in all the activities. I want to be able to, I've done appointments at the cross country track. I've done, at cheer practices. I've done meetings and appointments and stuff at those things. And that was important to me to have the ability to work from anywhere and not just be at a 9 to 5 or only work at certain times and miss all my kids, activities. That was something I did not want to do. So you set your own schedule. It's perfect for parents. You can work in the nooks and crannies of your kids' lives. I choose to work really hard while the kids are at school, and then I take little breaks and then work in the nooks and crannies during the rest of the time. So I fill in appointments like after dinner, I fill in appointments before dinner, just different times so I can spend as much time with my family as possible and still be present, but also still make an income, if that makes sense. One other reason was when working for corporate, I had a capped income. I was only making a certain amount and it was only going up a certain amount every year. It was not, didn't have the ability to go from $22 an hour to $28 an hour very quickly. It was very increments, 2, 3% each year. And it just took a long time and it was not growing enough for our family. And we had two about to go to college and we have three right now that are about to be seniors. So it was not keeping up with our lifestyle, the amount of money we were making. So having this and doing remote life insurance, your income is unlimited. Whatever you do is how much you get paid. It's what you can do, not how many hours you work. And I'll show you all of how, incomes and stuff happen, but we'll get to that. So, and it's also a growing demand for life insurance. So there was post-pandemic, there was definitely a heightened awareness of life insurance and the need because people were passing away very fast. They would get sick and they were gone. And not most of them, but a lot of them did not have life insurance at that time. And then also the remote aspect is that I could do this and connect with clients nationwide. I was not stuck to my geographical location. I can get licenses in different states and I'm able to work at different hours of the day. So that is why I decided to do this. Now, the cost efficiency is one thing too. There is, hold on. Yeah, cost efficiency. So working from home too, you don't have overhead. There's no rent, utilities, commuting expenses, very minimal startup costs. And if you're already going through a program, you're already doing some of the startup costs. And efficient client meetings. You meet online or over the phone. No more driving to the appointments, which happened before COVID. Our company specifically would drive and to go to people's houses for appointments. Now everything's done online or over Zoom. You could meet people. I have offered like local people to come to them, but usually they're like, no, let's just do it over the phone. We can get it done quick. So there's that, but then also accessible tools and technology. We have digital solutions for success. We have online trainings, robust CRMs, e-signature tools, so you don't have to have a wet signature. We have amazing training and support, comprehensive remote training that equips everyone with the skills that they need to get started and really, really get into this industry and just do amazing things. Um, there's scalability and growth, like a part of the whole geographical thing. You are not limited to like I'm not limited to Peoria, Arizona. I have licenses in all different states in different time zones so that I'm able to work with clients all over the place. If I'm getting a referral from someone for a family member, I usually will get licensed in whatever state that is so I can continue to be sent referrals for all different locations. And you have the team building opportunity and for passive income. So we will get to that, but I want you to know that what I'm talking about today, there's basically two opportunities. There's a lot of people who just want to come in and they just want to produce and write business for themselves, and that's all they want to do. They don't want to recruit, they don't want to build, they don't want to train teams, whatever that might be, and that is totally okay. If you are somebody who just wants to come get to work, talk to a few clients, make a few $1,000s a month, and not ever have to build a team, that is 100% okay. So don't ever feel like you have to build. But if you do want passive income where you're making money while you're sleeping, that will be something that you would want to do down the road. And again, making a difference, the helping families achieve financial security and peace of mind is something that is the most amazing thing. And when you get into this and you start working with clients and they just tell you, thank you, I can now sleep at night, it is the most heartwarming thing ever. So you'll kind of see how amazing that gets as you go. Like when people, or if you have somebody who maybe didn't think they could get life insurance because of something and you get them a policy, it's so heartwarming and amazing when they just say thank you. So I'll just kind of go over real quick, what does it look like to be a remote life insurance broker and what is it going to take? Okay. A lot of people don't give themselves enough credit for what they can do. So it is going to take time, okay? You're not going to come in and you're not going to be amazing immediately. It takes time for you to learn the skills, to get comfortable, to get confident in doing what you're doing. And you just got to really be patient with yourself. Be very patient with yourself. That was another one of the things. It's going to take energy. You're going to get told no a lot. You're going to have to try different things that maybe you didn't like to do before. Now, our company, we have a really amazing lead system. So if you are looking for something that has leads, our company has leads. You don't have to buy leads, but that kind of is what our company is very, they pride themselves on, is developing good leads and able to get people making money very quickly. If you're doing the system, you're dialing, you're calling the clients, you're setting the appointments, you're doing all that. But it does take so much time, so much patience, so much energy, especially if you've never worked for yourself before. Okay. I have always had some kind of side business. So I've always sort of had something where I'm working by like for myself. And even so, this still took a lot for me because I'm very ADHD and I am a squirrel. Like I can do something and then oh, laundry needs to be put in the dryer. Oh, I need to do dishes. Oh, I need to empty the dishwasher, whatever it is. And I will find something that takes me away from my work and it'll be for 30 minutes at a time sometimes, so it just takes sticking to your schedule, being patient, making sure that you believe in yourself and you can see the vision of what you want out of this. Maybe you want just a couple $1,000s a month. Maybe your goal is $10,000 a month. Maybe your goal is 5,000 a week. There are somebody out there that has goals that are very small and some that are very, very big. And you can fit that in something like this, no matter what it is. So you just got to see the vision and put yourself in there and go for it. Okay. All right. Now, this part is with life insurance, you're typically going to need to choose an IMO that you're going to work with. And here's why. You're going to want to get contracted with a bunch of carriers. If you're going to do an independent agent and you try to go to all the different carriers to get contracted with no backing behind you, like a company behind you, you would need to have proof that you have solid policies written, that you have done things very well. With a partner behind you, it's a lot easier to get contracted. As long as you don't have any bad negative juice with that company, you're gonna get in. They're gonna accept you when you have a backing. So why we chose Symmetry and what sets us apart, that's super, super easy. So it's a remote opportunity. The core values are amazing, which I will get to some of those. The mentorship and the culture is unmatched. And I'm going to bring on, so I do these Zoom meetings once a month, and the next one is on June 3rd. So it'll be kind of a little different presentation because I'm going to have one of my mentors join me. He has been in the life insurance space for over 40 years. And he's been with this company specifically for 11 years. And what he used to make in a year at all the other companies, he's now making in a month here. So I want him to share the story of how he got there, what he's doing. So we'll be doing that next month. So that'll be you can register for that now in Melissa's pages, but it's going to be amazing. And he's just has the most wisdom and it's going to be so cool. The technology and the training. So our technology is unmatched. We have amazing, different things to help us get to the training systems and all the things. And it's a turnkey business model. It's like a little insurance franchise, but you don't have to have a building. Okay. You don't have to have a State Farm location or an Allstate location. You start your business and you can call it what you want. We call ours the Cross Life Agency just because that's our last name, but you can name it whatever you want. And that could be whether you're producing or if you're going to build a business. That is what you call it is up to you. But the biggest reason was the ability to build our own agency. And I will show you how that works. It's true contractual ownership. Once you hit a certain level, you sign paperwork, everything is yours, and that stays with you for the rest of your life. If something happens to you, passes down, it's like something you would put in a will, put it down to your kids, spouse, whoever it might be that's left. And the only thing that they would have to do to continue getting the pay that you're getting is just have a life insurance license. And they would be able to still get paid what you were getting paid before. So that was something I really, really needed for us with having a family of 7. I wanted to make sure that when we go, what we have built in whatever amount of time we're here, that stays with my kids and it goes forever. Now, here's the core values. And I was telling you, like, they're amazing, amazing core values. But my biggest thing is that this company really, really focuses on you personally growing yourself. Okay. In a business like this, if you're trying to start your own agency, if you want to work for yourself from home, if you're not personally growing, it is going to be a really hard thing to continue going. Like your brain just has to continue expanding because of the amount of things that you're going to see. Like you're going to need a lot of um, ideas and words and motivation to get you through a lot of things. So, personally growing, personal development is one of the most important things that our company shares. Like, everyone needs to be doing that. And it's a big thing because we really focus on relationships, building relationships with everyone. Our team has some amazing relationships, and I'll share some of that too as we go. This is some of the culture that I was talking about. Every single day, except for Sundays, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we have a workroom. Okay, it's a Zoom room, but you go in there, you can, if you're, calling clients, if you're doing appointments, whatever it might be, you can have people in the background on the Zoom, and it just feels like you're, around somebody. Because a lot of times it gets kind of lonely if you're working from home by yourself. So being able to go into the Zoom room, and if you have a question, if you have a client that has something that you're unsure of, you can unmute and say, "Hey, so and so, can you help me with this?" And they'll help you immediately. And that is something that you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for someone to text you back. They're there for you. And there's always at least 10 people in there at all times. It's really cool. But you work for yourselves, but not by yourselves. We do all of our trainings there, all of our meetings are there. And like I was saying, we all collaborate and like help each other. So there's certain carriers that like I write the same few carriers. I just am comfortable with those carriers. And then you'll see other people who like different carriers, but you can kind of see and bounce ideas off. Like if I do a policy with F&G and I haven't done one in a long time, I can say, "Hey, Karen, I know you do F&G. Can you help me, do this IUL?" And we all just help each other, even if we're not making money off of each other. It is just such an amazing partnership that you aren't going to find everywhere else. So that's one amazing thing. And then the mentorship and the leadership, that was one thing that I needed for sure because I'm a go-getter. I like to do things. I like to, you know, read the information and go. But I think what happens with me especially, I thought when I started this business, I was going to come in and I'm changing it up. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do, get my own leads. I'm going to do whatever. So the first year I kind of was in a learning curve because I've always just been go, 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 do it, do it, do it. But I needed to pull myself back a little and do it the way the company teaches us, which is you do the training, you get some leads, you call the leads, you set the appointments, hopefully issue policies during that appointment. There's like a whole process of what you do. Well, I was doing it totally different. I was going out and just posting on social media and hoping that these people will come to me. I'm just going to get all the people wanting life insurance. Well, it happened a little bit in the beginning. Like I'm definitely was getting clients, but I was overly working with my warm market, and that is not what this company does not want you to go out and go to your family barbecue and try to get every single family member to get life insurance. That's not what you want because you want your family to still want you to come around. You don't want to be bugging them about life insurance every day. So you want them to know you do it, but don't bother them. But being able to be mentored and coached into those things has brought me into what I'm doing now. So it definitely helps, and you have to just be willing to accept the coaching. And if you're getting it and you're like, "Okay, I can make those changes and make the adjustments," then you'll be golden and you will be so successful in this business. So we have industry leading technology and training. Here's kind of just a little background. So Symmetry is the insurance company, and Quility is who handles all of our technology stuff. So it's Symmetry, Quility is the same company, it's just different parts of who does what. So the whole system, everything we do is powered by Quility, which handles, like I said, our systems and our lead stuff and everything that we would use on the computer. That's all Quility. We have Summit for training. So there's a whole program, starts way at the beginning, just barely gets you down to where you're calling clients. And then it gets you to, if you want to start building a team, it gets you to where if you want to, whatever you want to do, but it keeps going and keeps going. But you don't have to do all that training at once. You go step by step to where you want to be. If you're wanting, let's just get in, let's start calling clients, let's start, practicing the appointments, let's start doing these things. That's where Summit starts. You stop when it stops that, gets to that part, you stop. And then when you're ready for more, you go to the next thing. Okay. So it's not I'm going to come in and do 4 weeks of training. It's not going to happen. You don't want to do that because you'll get burnt out and you will quit. I promise you, because you're going to get so overwhelmed with the information. So we want you to take small baby steps, get you making money quick so that keeps you around a lot longer. The longer or the earlier you make money, the longer you're going to stick to a business, especially when it's something like this that's 1099 commission only. You're not getting an hourly pay. So you want to get paid quick so that you can, stick around longer. Okay. Quility Leads Marketplace, that is just our whole lead system. We have tons of different ways that our company gets leads. They do social media stuff, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. They'll post ads there. People click and say request for information. We send out mailers to people who've bought homes. We send out mailers to people. So there's all different ways that we're getting leads, and they range 50 cents, which are older leads that somebody, had bought a while ago, but they didn't ever close anything for the client. And then we have leads that might be 40, 50, $60. And they're ones who someone just called 5 minutes ago and they want information. So there's a different range. We always have our new people start way at the bottom just so they can practice talking. Practice talking to the clients. I would never want someone to spend $60 on a lead if they're going to call this first time as their first call, because nerves are going to take over. I have fumbled on my words several times, and it's actually probably better if you're fumbling a little bit, because then they know you're real. They know you're not just a robot. They know that you're not just some salesperson. If you're kind of struggling sometimes, it makes you more relatable to them. So having our kids in the background, having a dog barking, that happens too. It makes you more relatable because they know that you're a real person. So, but it takes time to get there. So what I'm saying about leads is you want to start low, 50-cent leads, and then go up from there. Switchboard is our CRM system. So that's if you're doing leads, I still like to use my old handy dandy cell phone to call people. But if you're doing like a digital lead that has come in from like a social media platform, you'll want to use Switchboard because the lead comes to you there, and then you kind of have like the texting options and stuff from that. But that again is something that you'll want to not get to in the first month or two. It'll take a little bit to get there. Navigator is an amazing system. So I don't know if you've all been in insurance before, but when I first started here, when I would do a quote for somebody, I would have to go to each different carrier to get quotes. Okay. Put their information here, put their information there to get quotes. Navigator has changed that for us, and we are able to plug in your client's information, height, weight, medical stuff, diabetic, high blood pressure, put in everything that you know about that client. And at the end, it'll tell you, okay, these 4 companies or these 5 companies are going to be the most likely for them to qualify for, and these are the prices. Okay. Amazing system. And it just keeps getting better and better. They're adding more products and more carriers in there. Right now, it has limited carriers, but it's all the ones I usually use anyway, so I stick with it. But more carriers will be added, so it'll give you more options to share with your clients. And then you're not taking 3 hours going to each carrier looking for quotes. Okay. Digital insurance products. So what this is each of the carriers that are out there, many of them, not all of them, but many of them have created a product specifically just for our company and the agents in our company. So we have about 7, I think, different carriers, maybe 8 now, that have created a life insurance product, whether that be a whole life, a final expense, or a term product. that is only available to the people that are writing policies with our agents specifically. So there's one specifically with American Amicable. They're a great company, been around a long time. There's one product that they write that is only for us, and it's actually quite a bit cheaper than the other whole life products that they have. So it usually makes it a little bit cheaper for the client. And it's because our business, the book of business, tends to stay longer. So they're beating down the doors trying to make us products. Like they said there's a waiting list for carriers that are trying to make products for us. So that's really cool. I will get there. I'm about to get there right now. So, how do you make money? Okay, this is what I want to share now. So, someone just asked what good commission is. I'm going to share what the commission structure is for us at our company. Every company is going to be a little bit different, and you have to decide for you. For one, you want to decide what the commit, like, is it commission that you're looking for specifically? Are you looking for higher commission? Are you looking for something like ownership? Like, that's what I wanted. Are you, the number one thing too, if when you're choosing whatever you do, whether it's with us or whether it's with somebody else, find somebody that you align with, that you know you can go to at any time for help. Okay. When I chose this company, I was looking specifically for a mentor that I know that I could reach at any time if I had questions. And so, or if I just needed help, or if you're in this business a long time, you become family. Like we are all family now. And so find somebody that you want to work with. Like I honestly don't accept everyone into our business. We have a lot of people that ask and like want to join, but I'm not just gonna bring anyone in. I am looking for people who, one, I get along with, one, that we are, because we're gonna be talking a lot. We're gonna be doing Zooms a lot. Get along with the people that you join. Okay. That's my number one tip on any business, no matter what company you choose. Make sure you're aligning with the mentor that's bringing you in, and know that they're going to help. Okay. Because that happens also too, is that you sometimes don't get help. So how you make money. When you partner with us, you become a broker. You have access to about 40 carriers. Now in the beginning, you're going to probably have like 7 or 8, and you add as you go. Um, the carriers pay you directly. Okay. The carriers pay you directly. Even if you join me in our agency, no money gets exchanged between me and you, or me or the company and me, between, like there's nothing in between that. It's directly from company to you. Okay. So that is amazing for me. You can go write a policy today and you can make money tomorrow in your bank account. You don't have to wait till Friday. You don't have to wait till the next 2 weeks. You don't have to wait till the end of the month, which I've heard that from other companies, is that they pay weekly or they pay monthly. I would not be okay with that. I want to know whatever the work I do, I'm making the money myself. It's coming to me. If I write $1,000 policy, I want that 800 to come to me. Okay. So these are some of the carriers that we work with. So you can kind of see all of them have been around a very, very long time, most over 100 years. Transamerica, Mutual of Omaha, Gerber Life. I'm sure you've seen Gerber on everything for the last however many years. I remember that when I was a kid. Foresters, like these are all amazing carriers. Are top 50 rated. I'm gonna take a drink. Okay, so here is the pay. I'm gonna go to the actual Slingshot screen. This is the screen that I want everyone to focus on. Okay, tell me, is there anyone here ever in their any job they've ever done made 15% increase in pay in the first 3 months? Is there anyone that has? Because what you can do here, I will get to all these questions as soon as I'm done here. So here, every new agent starts at 80% commission. Okay, so 80% commission is the base commission. Now, within every carrier, yes, there are lower policies that have lower commissions. Okay, so like for instance, if you come in and you brand new, you write a policy tomorrow for $1,000. Okay, The $1,000 is what the annual premium is for the client. So if you wrote a $1,000 annual premium policy, you as the new agent, your entire commission would be 80%, so it's $800. That's what your commission is. Now, the way the carriers pay, so in order for them to pay you right away, they send you 75% of your entire commission up front. So your base commission on that policy is 800. 75% of it's coming to you in the next day or two. And then the other 25% they pay at the end of the year once the client has paid the policy for the whole year. So it kind of also it protects you from chargebacks or as big of chargebacks, like if they cancel halfway through the year and take your commission back and things like that. I kind of like it as a cushion at the back end to be able to, I usually put that in savings, helps with taxes and things like that. So that's one thing. So if you wrote $1,000 policy, your commission's 800, but the carriers within a day or two, 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get 75% of that 800 in your bank account. So need to buy diapers, you have to pay rent on the 1st and it's the 27th. You have the ability to make that amount of money in days without having to leave your family, without having to drive in traffic, just by writing one policy. You can typically, on average, the average policy, I think they said it's about 1,200 right now. I still like to use the 1,000 just because it's easier math. So, but the average is about 1,200. So that's like 960 on average as your base commission. So you start at 80. Now you can increase your commissions on the slow track. You would just write $2,500 in business 2 months in a row to get to 85. And then the next 2 months, you would go 5,000 2 months in a row, you get to 90. And then 10,000 2 months in a row the next 2 months, then it goes to 95. That's on the slow route. You can do that in, 1 week, you can do that in however long. Now on the fast route, you can get to 85% in the first month. The only difference here is you have to write business 3 out of the 4 weeks of the month. So if, for instance, you're in June, there's 4 Fridays. You would have to at least write business 3 of those 4 weeks in order and hit 5,000 in issued business to go up to 85. So it's a little bit more rules, like you have to do more, like you have to be more consistent instead of just a big policy here and there. So you have to be more consistent, but you can get all the way up to 95% commission in the first 3 months or 6 months. Either way is still way more than I ever got at any job ever in a year's time. I don't think I've ever increased my commission or my pay at any job more than 3% at any year. I can't remember anywhere else. So that is the ability we strive to get you to those, commission increases faster and faster and faster. The faster you get the, more pay, the more money you're going to make and the, least amount of time you're going to have to work. So just that's kind of what we strive, get you to 95 as quick as possible. So if you're part-time, and a lot of people start part-time, so if you have a job right now, totally fine. Work in the nooks and crannies while you're working this, trying to figure it out. Then when you're comfortable, then you can, and you're making some money and you're comfortable leaving that income, then you can put more time into it. But most people start part-time, putting 15 to 20 hours per week on average, and usually they'll get about 6 placed policies per month. So on average, just doing that, like an average of 6 policies a month, you can be looking close to about $70,000 a month on an average policy. Now, if you're writing a bunch of kids policies or you're writing a bunch of accidental death or something that's a lower commission, yeah, it's going to take a lot more than 6 policies. But on an average type of policy, you write 6 policies a month, you can get, bet that you're going to be close to $70,000 a year. Another point of that is your contract level is not going to be, this is basing it if you stayed at 80%, that is going to go up if you're writing that much business. So another thing, so would actually be more than that if you're averaging 6 policies a month. Now here's kind of just what a full-time agent could look like if you're focusing on producing. Okay. So here is just if someone produces, and there are people that are doing way more than this. Um, excuse me, I need one more drink. But a full-time agent that wants to come in and produce. I know I can write this many policies a month. I know I have that in me. I have the time to make the dials and set the appointments and do all the things. This could be you if you wanted to come in and do full time. You could be making $205,000 a year just producing. So this is without any sort of bringing people in your business. This is just you. If you just come in working full time, like if you want to put 8 hours a day, a lot of people don't put 8 hours a day. I can tell you, I probably put eight, but they're like staggered. I don't sit from 8 to 5. Like we'll have meeting here, I'll do some dialing here, I'll do clients here. Like I pay, piece my day wherever I need it and surrounding my family. I plug in my calendar when I need to be picking kids up, when I have whatever it is on my calendar, and work doesn't go in those times. Like it's just working when you can, working when it fits your family, and working when it fits your needs. So definitely think that this could be something that you can focus if you want just 70,000 a year. Half the time, there you go. If you need 200,000, not everyone needs 200,000. That's a very high income. That's doctor money. That is like money that none of us I've ever made in my life just working at a job. So you pick how much you want to work. And based on how much you want to make, we can figure you out like, hey, you could probably work here, work these days would be the most bang for your buck. Whatever it looks like, we can tell you how many clients you might need to get there. But yeah, whatever you need, we can figure that out. So now I'm going to share. So if you are one that does not want to have anything to do with building or recruiting, tune me out. Okay. I don't want anyone to think that this is something you have to do because you do not have to do that. But if you want long-term residual money where you can be making money when you're sleeping and not having to do the production and dialing and calling clients and all the things forever, this would be for you. You would start here, start producing, go from there. So I'm going to go through all of that. Now, what makes Symmetry different is like I said earlier, the exclusive agency ownership program. They provide all of everything we need to build our own business, our own agency through true contractual ownership. So you have the ability to earn both time and money with the system that we have. There's not a lot that you have to do, even if you bring people in, our system teaches us how to do what we need to do. It's not something that you have to know everything. You can still, if you have friends, family members, I want every one of my family members to be doing this because I want them out of their jobs. I want my dad to be able to retire. He has owned a restaurant for the last 50 years and he's 71 years old right now and still working, trying to have employees at a restaurant that is starting to collapse very fast. And they're stuck. They're stuck in this place that I can't get them out of because it's been in the family for so long, they don't want to let it go. I want something for my family, like my kids, that they don't have to be still cooking at restaurants when they're 71. When they don't still have to be worrying about who's coming to work or who called out or who stole money from the safe. Like, I don't want my kids to have to deal with anything like that. I want my kids to have a business that is built for them, and all they need to do is get a license, and they're going to continue that money for the rest of their lives. So that is why this company and this specific thing that I saw was because I've been in, my family has had a business forever, and that is a brick and mortar, so much work, and it's not something that's going to be long lasting for the rest of us unless we want to go work it. Like it's not going to continue going forever, if that makes any sense. So that was really a big reason for me. Here is what it looks like. So for instance, if you did decide you wanted to build, what was the income at the full time, like 200 202,000 is that? Let's go back and see. 205,000 is what a full-time doing production, okay? To add an extra 50,000, you bring on a few agents and you also would make money when you're helping your team make money. So if I have an agent that I just brought in, she just wrote a policy. So she wrote, I think it was a 13 or $1,400 policy. So she's going to get 80% of that. But because I'm at a higher contract rate, the carriers will send me a kickback just for helping somebody get business across the board. So you're like a mentor. They're enticing you to continue helping new agents get started and helping them make money. If your new agent didn't make money, you wouldn't make money. So you always want to help your new agents make money, and that helps you make money too. So if you were to build an agency, so a $50,000 agency, I'm writing 15,000 in business at 105%, okay? And then the agency writes 35,000 in business and an average spread of 15%. So my new agents, like on this one, for instance, she's at 105%. She would make 25% on the newest agent. But then you have, Sylvia up here, who is already her contract rate's at 100%. She's not needing as much help. So usually they will pay you more for the newer agent who needs more help, help writing the application, helping with underwriting, all that stuff. The carrier pays you for that. And then, obviously Sylvia up here doesn't need as much help. So they'll still give you a little bit of kickback until she's at the same as you, and then you don't get it anymore. But we don't care. We want all of our agents to be at Anna. Yes, I will write your number down. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. 305. Yes, I will call you. Okay. And then, so anyways, on an average here, you're making an additional 50,000 just by bringing agents in and helping them get started with the business. A lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people, guys, on the phone who are interested in the business. A lot of people are very scared of the word recruiting out there. I don't like to think of it like that because for me, I don't, I feel like if you're recruiting, like you'll just take anyone. Like you just want people and numbers and, things like that. And for me, for my agency, I want people in my agency that I would have at my house for Christmas or at my house for Thanksgiving because those are the people that you're going to grow for a long time with. Those are the people that you're going to travel with. Like carriers, watch, and I'll get to the travel too, but the carriers have trips every year, sometimes twice a year. You want to travel and build business with people that you want to travel with. I would not just, I feel like in a recruiting type of something like that, I think of, just numbers. Like I'm just bringing them in and I'll never talk to them once they get in. That's not what this is like. This is a true business where you work together all the time. Our new agents they don't know everything. We don't want them to know everything. We want them to come for help. We want to, let's learn from each other. Like, I want to help you learn how to write an application. I want you to learn underwriting by talking to me about underwriting. So that's what I feel like. So don't be afraid of the word recruiting. But if you don't want to build anything, take that out and just know you don't have to do that. It'll never be pushed on you unless you're like, I want residual income. Then we'll be like, well, the only way to do that is this way. So then of course I would push you. But until then, I wouldn't, unless you told me. So here's some of the trips. So these are the ones actually haven't updated this, but they just updated. So these were last year's trips. And the coolest one that I loved was the Las Vegas one. Not the coolest place, right? But they took them to the Super Bowl last year. So Mutual of Omaha, the people that earned that trip, they went to the Super Bowl, had like amazing seats. They had huge like backstage, all a part of everything. It was just the coolest thing. Like watching it all was like that would cost thousands and thousands and probably like $50,000, I'm thinking, per person. But anyways, that was just so cool. But you can earn any of them. So if you love a carrier, like I have my favorite few carriers. So for me, those are the carriers I'll write with, and then everything I write will push me towards one of the trips. And the more you write, like what you'll find your favorites, I promise. So when you find your favorite carrier, look what the incentive trip is and then just go for it. Like push, 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 because that's helping clients more, but it's helping you get an amazing trip out of it too. So, and you want to travel with people that you like. Like I said, I would not want to go to the Super Bowl with people I didn't like. So, I want to bring in people to our business that I like and that I want to hang out with. So, and I would think that that's what you would want too. So, if you're looking like find the person that you want to be your mentor that speaks to you, like speaks to your heart. Like if you are a slow, like very calm person, my high energy might not be your thing. But if, like for me, I can't have a mentor that's slow and like very calm because I'm like, you're not giving me what I need. Like, I need more excitement. So just find the people that you know you can connect with, is my biggest tip. Okay. Now, where to go from here? Um, a lot of you, I think, in the comments said that you were in the process or already licensed. So if you were not licensed, we definitely could help you with getting licensed. Um, I do everything. If your state does not require a course, I have everyone that I bring in. I recommend Melissa the Gold package to learn the material. Um, if those of you that don't know, I'm sure you've heard, but Melissa and I worked together at USAA 15 years ago. So 15 years ago, we were in PNC working nights, just doing auto insurance. And then we both met my husband when um, he was teaching us property policies. So we learned homeowners from my husband taught us. So Melissa Dillon, the amazing insurance queen, learned how to do property insurance from my husband. So that's just a fun fact. So we have a very long relationship. We've been friends a very, very long time. So I send everyone that is coming into our business to Melissa, if especially if they don't require a course, because I do have an ability to give the course for $49. So if it's money's a thing, then I'll do the course. But other than that, I refer everyone to Melissa because I think she's amazing. But if you are licensed, so here's kind of what I was saying. You want if you're interested in doing like being a broker, and if you're interested in doing like what I do and what I just talked about, all that you would want to do, I have a form at the end. You can fill it out, and then we would get on the phone and talk a little bit more. Or if you're ready and you're just like, yeah, I can do this, I'll bring you in. We'll get you contracted with all the carriers, all the things like there's just step by step. Bring you in. Takes about a week to get contracted with carriers. It's still early in the week, so it might be a little faster than that. But if it's towards the end of the week, it sometimes takes throughout the other week. But you have access to two of the carriers to write policies almost immediately just from bringing you in. So you don't even have to wait till you're contracted with some of them. Um, and then once you're like through that first part of training, like I was talking about, and it gets to the point where it's time for you to call, just start practicing, get the ugly out, start calling the clients. We would get on the phone at that point and just kind of talk about like, what are your income goals? What is like, how much money are you looking to make? Are you looking to make $1,000 a week? Do you want 5,000 a month? Like, what are your goals? And then from there, we kind of break it down like what you would need, how many applications per week will it look like to get to that goal? And usually about like someone new and they're looking for like 3 to 5,000 a month, they probably are going to need about 6 applications on average if they're average, you know, annual premium. But if it's something small like a kids policy, it's only $300, then you're going to need more. So we just kind of look at what the expectation is, like like make it real for you, like what you need to do to make what you're looking for. And then also, if you are going to be using the lead system, like how much you can expect to spend. So on average right now, like someone wanting to make maybe 2,500 a week. For that, you can expect to spend about 10% of whatever amount you want to make on leads. If you have a network and you can get referrals and you can, post on social media, if you have a following and all the things and you can get your own leads, go for that because it is something that's free. That's free leads, free referrals, free social media posts. That's all free. But if that's not your thing, the leads are here, and people that don't do any social media can usually spend 10% of what they want to make. They want to make 5,000 a week, 500 a week is what they're going to probably spend on leads, and so on and so forth. So that it's usually about 10x of what they're spending on leads is kind of the average right now. But again, not required. You don't have to buy leads. You don't have to recruit. But if you want to get started and make money fast, that's the system. You come in, you buy leads, you do the dials, you talk to the clients, set the appointments, do the appointments, hopefully write policies, and then make money and turn it back around. Do the same thing next week. Dials, calls, set the appointments, do the appointments, write policies. And you just keep doing that as long as you want. And then if you're done and you don't want to do that anymore, that's when you want to really start thinking about building, because then building, you can train people to do what you just did. They come in, they do the same thing. I'm still going to be building. I'm still going to be producing because producing is your now money. Okay. Producing is you're coming in, you're making money, you're writing policies, your money is coming into you now. Building takes time because sometimes they're not licensed. I want my cousin to join me. She can do this business with me. She still has to go through the licensing. She still has to do this. Then she has to go through the training, and they might not write their first policy for a couple of months. So that is like later money. The building is later money, but more sustainable and long term. Producing, we all need to do it. It's now money. Okay. So that's kind of the beginning part of it. And so really in the beginning, you want to come in and get started either calling or promoting yourself on social media as fast as you can to where you can say, hey, I'm a life insurance agent. And I 100% recommend sharing what you do on all social media because you want to be the person they think about when they say life insurance. That no matter where you're at, I don't care if you're on in my business, if you're in another company, let your people know what you do. That's a free lead that you can get. I just went out of town. I was at a conference in Dallas a couple weeks ago. I got home on that next Wednesday. I had been posting that I was at a life insurance conference, all the things. But Wednesday, I've been posting for 2 years about this. She sends a message like, you do life insurance, right? We've been friends for and engaging friends. Like she lives near me and everything. So anyways, point of that is I wrote 5 policies for her family and we have never once talked about life insurance up until that day. And that was just because um they reached out and they were seeing my post. I will never hound somebody. I will never be sending messages like, hey, can I do a life insurance quote for you? I'm not going to do that. But you post things that are engaging. You post things that are educational. Like not everyone thinks about getting a life insurance policy for their kid. Do you know how important that is? Super important. A lot of people wouldn't know that because people don't talk about it. It's not something comfortable to talk about. So share things that are uncomfortable. Share like a story. What would it look like if you didn't come home tomorrow? Would your wife be okay? Would your husband be okay? Probably not. You want them to think that stuff so when they're ready and they're like, you know what, I really need to do this, they're gonna call Sonia. They're gonna call Christina. They're gonna call Anna. Whoever is talking about it is who they're gonna call. The more you share so do that all the time. Never be a secret agent. Okay, number 1, please don't do that. Please don't be a secret agent. Okay, now here's a QR code. This is again just to connect with me. If you are interested talking more about this or I'm ready, let's go. Fill that out, reach out. I'll send you a text once we're done here and set up a time to talk. Tonight is crazy. It's all right. I haven't even had dinner. I have literally been gone since 9 o'clock this morning and it's now 6 o'clock. And I just spend my entire Tuesday networking and it's so much fun. But I'm excited because I'm all dressed up and I got to curl my hair and stuff today, where normally I'm in my sweats working from home with my hair in a bun. So this was fun. It's fun to do it on Tuesdays, which is why I do the meetings on Tuesdays also. But if you're interested in working in our industry or my business, the QR code is right on the screen. Do you not see it? I do not know. I can send me a message. I have a lot of connections in PNC, so send me a message. I'm gonna put in the chat my website and click on it, and it will take you to this same thing. It just says interested in becoming a remote agency or a remote life insurance broker. Um, so then it'll send it to me. So you fill that out, it'll come to me, and that'll just have like where you're located, just some basic questions about what you're doing or how you got to this. Yeah, Taryn, message me and I will check. I will see, I'll ask you some questions. I have a lot of friends in PNC. So it'll just depend like where you're at or what you're looking for specifically. But for life and health, most jobs and most things are going to be commission only. That's just what you're going to find out there. So, like I said, my biggest thing is find someone who you would get along with to partner with. Find the company that has the commission or what that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for just the high producing commission. There are probably companies that start out higher than that, and that's totally fine. But maybe you're more like me and wanting more of the long term that I can pass down to my kids. If that's more your thing, then this would be more like that because I don't think I'm pretty sure there is no other company that has this specific same agency ownership type of thing. So it's just what you're attracted to. Is it producing 100% commission right off the bat, or is it starting at 80, having the ability to get up to 95 in 3 months, plus having the agency ownership availability also? This could be a good route for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute. I'm going to stop recording this though. Stop screen share.